Article 92, failure to obey order or regulation. Article 98, noncompliance with procedural rules. Article 109, property other than military property of the United States, waste, spoilage, or destruction. Article 116, riot or breach of peace. Article 134, Attack 28, indecent language. Article 134, Attack 42, reckless endangerment. These articles are known as the punitive articles, and they are under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. The Uniform Code of Military Justice is applicable to any and all service members, whether they are active or active reserves. In no way, shape, or form is this video being sponsored or endorsed by the Navy and or any military branch. So everything I say in this video is entirely my opinion and or based off of instructions and regulations that is also public knowledge that is applicable to the military. I am not giving away any military secrets, so if you came here seeking that, you will not find it here. This video is also not anti-military and or government. No way, shape, or form giving any type of legal advice in this video. So if that's the type of information that you were seeking for this video, please look elsewhere. Hi guys, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Athena Lindsey. I make content based off of my naval experiences and personal videos. In this video, I'm going to be talking as to why a lot of military members, some have the ability to protest but choose not to, and or certain ones are just not allowed to at all. I wanted to talk about this topic because I feel like this is one of those things that I think that's really being thrown around, and the perception of us is very strong. The reason why I bring this up is because every branch is its own branch, and the way that they run things is very differently. There are 6 military branches: the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, the Navy, the Coast Guard, and as of recently, the Space Force. The military is under a different type of world. Truth be told, there are so many different factors in how the Navy is ran that it's really hard to pinpoint it down to a couple of things. So I'm basically going to try to explain it so you guys can really understand in the most vague way possible. One of the things I want to specify is that every branch is different and the way that they run things is very different. This is one of the things that I express a lot in my other YouTube videos when I talk about my naval experience, is that it's not going to be the same as somebody else in the service, because everything depends on your job, where you work at, how your leadership is, and a number of different factors. Think of it as the different types of restaurants. Not every restaurant runs things the same way, but they all have to adhere to the health department. The health department is the ones that basically give them type of regulations and things that they need to adhere to or to apply. And similar to how the health department is for food, that is exactly how the Uniform Code of Military Justice is for all branches. Every branch is under this code, the Uniform Code of Military Justice. And under this code are things known as the punitive articles. These punitive articles can basically be charged against any United States service member. I really can't specify this enough because this is the one thing that really holds a lot of military service members back, because anybody that breaks any of these laws can be charged with. And once they are charged, it leads to another different realm of being in trouble. So a lot of the rules that may apply to you guys will not apply to us. A lot of people don't understand the military and how it works. Because truth be told, even the military doesn't understand the military. Because we run things so differently and a lot of things are forever changing all the time. For example, when I first initially put out a video explaining that I was going to put this video out, a lot of people don't understand why military personnel can't and won't protest. I'm not really going to go in depth in this video because I have to dive deeper into the reasoning in the next video that I'm going to be putting out. I got into a discussion with a soldier that said that they were upset that I had used the word why military service members do not choose to protest. And they got upset because they were told that they can't do it at all. But as of recently, I actually have received the email on it. I have it right here with me. And on the email, it specifies that there are still specific guidelines and instructions that we have to apply to. Now, although every service member still has the ability to have the First Amendment, Bill of Rights, and all that, we are still under different obligations and rules that we have to apply to. Specifically, instructions that are under the Department of Defense. As per DODD 1344.10, service members on active duty may attend a partisan or nonpartisan political activity or rally while not in uniform. Service members may never participate in political protests. Partisan political protests are defined as supporting or relating to candidates or issues specifically identified with a political party and or associated organization. If a service member wants to participate in a protest or rally, post HP Con C, it must be a non-partisan rally. He or she must do so in a purely personal capacity and be off duty. He or she must not wear uniform. He or she must not speak as a United States service member with X opinion. Number 3, if a service member wants to attend a protest or rally, post HPC Con C, he or she must do so in a purely personal capacity. He or she must not be in their uniform. He or she must not speak as a United States service member with X opinion. We're still under rules and regulations because of COVID. We are still not able to do certain things or go certain places, even if certain states reopen, because they do not want us getting sick. We're not allowed to be with no more than groups of 10 people, and we must always wear a mask. I can't stress this enough, we're not under the same type of rules. We're held to a different standard. If you see anybody protesting in a United States uniform, 1, that they might actually be a veteran. 2, it might be stolen valor, and they are actually just putting on, impersonating a soldier, sailor, or whoever it may be. And number 3, if they are, then there's still a strong chance that they could get in trouble for doing so, because it's one of the very first things that they tell us when we actually first join the service. The second thing I want to clarify is that not everybody in the military thinks the same way at all. At all. I can't stress this enough. Don't think that just because we all wear the uniform, we all think the same way. Everybody in the military joins from different parts of the world, so they have different upbringings, backgrounds, ethnicities, and the way that we think about things is very differently. We have different political beliefs, religious beliefs, and even leadership beliefs. For example, I was born and raised in New York City, so I've always been open to different ethnicities and different backgrounds. I embrace it. So when I joined the service, some of my closest friends were actually from the South, from Georgia, from Florida, from Mississippi, all that good stuff. But the way that they encountered different ethnicities and different groups of people were very different from me. I've also met someone who actually said that they never met a black person until they joined the Navy. And it is a lot more common than you think. The military has the ability to bring everybody together, but it can be a good and a very bad thing. Racism is in the Navy, it's in the military. I learned this as I've read different posts from different people about the different type of experiences that they encountered while they've been in the service. One of the things that I was warned about when I first moved out to Washington, for example, the KKK was here. I personally have not encountered them, but to know, going to Walmart or going to the supermarket, I could be passing one of them very easily and they just gravitate hate and I wouldn't even know it. I hate that there are so many people, in light of this situation that's been going on, has brought the truth out of some people. A lot of military service members are now posting things online that they, 1, probably wouldn't even say it in person, and 2, you wouldn't even think it, because you would think that somebody who joins the service, they're open to diversity. They know that when they join the military, they're going to be different groups of people. But again, not everybody thinks the same way. It's a growing diversity. It wasn't even that long ago that women were allowed to join the military. Like, what, it was in 1917, I think it was. The very first woman joined the Navy. Sometimes when you go to certain bases, for example, you'll encounter more ethnicity than one. For example, sometimes it's known that LSs are majority either African American or Filipino. It's a joke, but it's a truth because that's majority of what people see. Don't think that there isn't racism in the military, because there is. I personally have not encountered someone, but there's always that line. They walk that line. Because I don't look African American, a lot of people think that they are comfortable enough to say certain things around me, like I won't say something about it. To the average person, I may not look African American, but I am. Heck, if you even look at my parents, they don't even look African American. But my mother is full Bayesian, and my father is black. The military has been open to a lot of diversity, and they know this, they have to be. For example, an observation of the new regulations that came out for women who finally were able to actually start growing locks, finally able to have a ponytail, finally able to do certain things. But then there comes, for example, the line of hair regulations, where someone who has blonde hair is perfectly okay if they are of the lighter skin complexion. But if they are darker, it's a problem. Because as far as I know, there's a tribe that actually is born dark-skinned with blonde hair and blue eyes. Don't think the military doesn't have its fair share of prejudices and racism, because they do. If they didn't, there wouldn't be a need to have a semio or all of these surveys asking questions about, do you feel that there's discrimination in your shop, or if there's discrimination in your department when it comes to ethnicity and things like that. And for those of you who don't know, semio is a command manage equal opportunity manager. They're supposed to be the ones to make sure that everybody's getting treated equally. Heck, some people don't even trust their semio, and that's a problem in itself. But one of the things that I really want to address is that don't think that the people who are in the service don't feel your pain. because we do. It's really hard to physically be there for protests because we're not allowed to be because of social distancing. I rewatched the video of George Floyd. I don't understand how people don't see the problem in that. That was somebody's dad, you know? It really made me think, like, what if it was my dad? What if it was my cousin? What if it was somebody that I loved? And this country ain't perfect. And there are certain things that need to be changed about it, and they know it. You know, if the military has the ability to make something as simple as hair regulation changes, then I feel like people in power have the ability to make a lot more change than they realize that they need to do. Service members who have the ability to protest, it's very hard for us to try to do so because it almost seems like anything that can go wrong at a protest can and probably will go wrong. Not to say that every protest is going to be the same, because there have been peaceful protests done. It's very hard to say. But at the same time, when it comes to being a service member, if anything goes wrong, we can get penalized for it in a higher degree. When we go to jail, it's not like a regular civilian jail. Somebody doesn't just bail you out and then, you know, you go to court case or you do civil services and community service for X amount of time. It's not the same. There are a number of things that happens to a service member if they get in trouble. They get their pay cut, they get demoted from whatever pay grade they were at or rank they were at. And depending on the severity of your situation, you can either go to restriction and the brig, or you can go to both. And the brig is a legit place. On a final note, I am a strong Black woman. I see my community and I know that they are angry. And I'm angry with them. Although some of us may not physically be able to be there with you, we feel you, we see you, and we hear you. Thank you guys for watching this video.